And now back for more Hooked on OC.
We get a call on the radio, and you hear everything, and as soon as the radio starts blazing, you start listening in. I, of course, am just doing what I was doing because I don't understand what's going on. But Kramer heard some numbers going by, picks up the radio, starts talking to his buddy, and 44, 47, 44, 47.
Yes.
And I knew that was 44, 47.
Yep.
So you guys are doing lat longs down here.
Top and bottom on the lat long.
44, 47. So he goes and tells John, and we speed the troll up a little bit.
Right.
Just maybe trying to hook, because sailfish lead a fast bait.
Oh, yeah.
Blue marlin lead a fast
Actually,
bait.
as soon as he sped the troll up, if you remember, we did raise one right away.
Exactly right.
On the left
was
long.
it within a minute or so?
Yeah, within a minute. We raised one on the left long.
He was window shopping.
He was.
He kind of came in and didn't even take the bait out of the pin, none of that stuff. Fed him for a second, but gone. But then we get to the spot where we were headed, and he pulls him back, slows down. Once again, it was 5 minutes. And what's he pile on?
The tuna candy. It was.
We're going to mention that again here in a couple of minutes. Tuna candy was the hot lick this
That's
week.
a daisy chain. That's a dropper chain, or the tuna candy is actually the name of the squid, Squid Nation. But the tuna candy chain has been on fire here for 2 months, and you know I've told you, and you're like, yeah, you're selling something. But I think you've seen.
Well, most of the stuff that comes out of your mouth, I'm like, yeah.
But I think you've seen that it was.
I'm there in person.
Right. It's almost silly. It's overwhelming.
It is. It really is, because there are other teasers out there. It's not like it's tuna candy and tuna candy on the other side. Oh yeah, the fish are going to come up on whatever's out there.
Right.
There's tuna candy, and then there's a plug here, and then there's a plug here,
right.
and then sometimes there's another daisy chain over here. I'm telling you, man, 3/4 to probably 90% of the fish this week have come up on tuna candy.
Yeah.
And it might have something to do with the way you've got it rigged, with that, dropper on first two and then inline on the last couple. I don't think so. I think it's that color, man, because it looks really, really good in the water, too.
I like that color.
It really does. So the fish comes up on tuna candy. We let the mate hook it this time because he was right there on it as it was.
Yeah.
So he grabs the rod, sets him up, and these guys down here, they let them eat for a while.
They do.
You had told me maybe 7, 10 count. The last show that we did, I did exactly that, and I hooked my fish, the first one that I caught. And this guy was literally letting line out so long, I had to look and see if line was coming off the reel to see if he was still serious and see if the fish was still attempting to take the bite, but it was 20, 30 seconds.
Well, it was his second shot at it. He dropped back to it, and he thought he was hooked up, and it popped off right away. So instinctively what you do is, you're thinking, if I have half a bait left, then I'm just going to dump it. And the reason you want to do that is you want to make it look like the sailfish came, bit it in half, ate its first half. Now
it's just floating.
You just want that second half to float back there, so he'll make a spin around and come get it. And you got to understand the boat's going forward, so it's got to be a 20 to 30 count. Just dump it, and that's what he did. And then he just started slowly bringing it in, and he was tight.
There he was. Yep, there he was. We offered the rod to our beautiful friend Svetlana, but she neglected. Twisted her arm for maybe half a second. And
I think she was asleep for the first time. First 10 times we offered.
She was asleep,
she was rubbing
and then
out
finally she came up out of the cockpit. And she just didn't want to take. But
it was actually not a bad thing that she didn't take it, because she got some absolutely killer pictures.
That is what I was going to say.
Killer pictures.
That's the second reason why it wasn't so bad that she didn't take it, because I did.
Yeah.
I did, man. I got to catch my third Guatemala sailfish, and it was just like the first. I mean, except for setting it apart that I hooked the first one.
Right.
Man, it is so exciting to catch these fish. And then John, because we had the live bait, he wanted to dead boat them.
Yes.
So we dead boat this fish, and it's basically all me, rod, reel, line, and that stuff against the sailfish.
Makes it a lot harder, doesn't it?
It makes it much harder, especially on that light of gear. On a 30, it's tougher to get them to the boat, because they put that sail up, man. They're like, a piece of plywood in the water.
That's exactly right.
So we drop a live bait back there and try and get another one hooked up, to no avail. But because we stopped the boat and this fish cooperated pretty good and started to come toward us, John jumps in the water. He looks like Jacques Cousteau or something jumping in the water. At first we're like, you're going a little early. We got to get him here next to the boat. Let's make sure the fish is not as green, so you don't get stabbed in the eye or something with a sailfish bill. But once we did get the fish to the boat and we were able to steer him a little bit, John jumps in and gets this awesome underwater footage.
Well,
Hooked on OC, we'll be right back. Sunset Provisions, located in Sunset Marina in West Ocean City, is your one-stop fishing shop. Sunset Provisions has everything you need for a day on the water, from beer to butterfish. Rods and reels from Shimano, Penn and Avette, offshore baits from Killer Who's and Willie's Custom Trolling Baits, high-performance apparel from Pelagic Gear, and Costa Del Mar sunglasses. Ice, soda, beer, marine supplies for maintaining your boat, and everything you need for your inshore and offshore fishing. Sunset Provisions has got you covered. Sunset Provisions is located in the Sunset Marina in West Ocean City.
Sunset Grill, a cool Caribbean atmosphere. A unique dining or social experience overlooking the water. Freshly prepared entrees and appetizers for every palate. Casual dining in a fun atmosphere. Relax in our comfortable, elegant lounges with your special libation. Sunset Grill, a place to relax and enjoy.
Red Sun Custom Apparel, Ocean City's leader in t-shirts, embroidery, and promotional products. Simply put, the best graphics you'll see anywhere. Call Red Sun today at 410-213-1176. That's 410-213-1176.
There's nothing more exciting than a day of offshore sport fishing. The sun, the sea, and a boatload of your friends trying to land the big one. Ocean City Fishing Center is the area's #1 charter fleet with 37 boats sailing out every day looking for the big fish. Tuna, marlin, dolphin, and shark. Every crew that sails is dedicated to your excitement. And all our captains are licensed by the U.S. Coast Guard for your safety. Head boats are also available for family fishing fun. Whether your party is big or small, call Ocean City Fishing Center. Tight lines and good times.